the best disc golf content from last year that I swear you have never seen. And comment down if you did, because I know you're just lying.
I'm just high.
All right, first up, the Urban Disc Golf Series. So there's a collection of 3 videos where actual pros play in what I consider the coolest environments that I've ever seen. It kind of represents this dream that I bet a lot of people have, including me, which is that you can play disc golf anywhere. You don't have to be limited by OB lines or a park. You can literally play anywhere. It doesn't matter where, which is arguably part of the issue, but why this video is just so interesting. So they play in Nashville, and the scenery that they play around is just crazy because you have people walking next to them, you have people driving next to them. Like, they have so many obstacles. They very easily could have hit something, but somehow they don't. And so the situation is this: they have about a 2,100 foot hole on average, and the player with the lowest score gets, I think, like $200. And it is crazy. They probably spend like a couple hours just on this one particular hole because you have to worry about like filming people, making sure you can line up your shot and it's not interfering with people. It is just so unique and so spectacular, and what I would consider like what disc golf should be striving towards. This set of content where you are really trying to create something new and innovative. I feel like so commonly all the pros are doing the same things over and over, but doing something actually new. I think that was something that I was not expecting to see on my recommended, and I am so glad that I found this series. They only have 3 episodes, but that was last year, so I'm hoping this year they have a whole lot more content. And definitely some of the shot shapes that they're forced to make in tunnels, over bridges, in OB lines that are humongous because like they're playing next to parking lots and they have insane OB lines. It is just amazing. I highly recommend you watch it. All right, number 2, Joel Freeman at Butler County Disc Golf Classic, round 3. So Joel's known as an amazing player on his own. He doesn't really need that many extra accolades, but for this silver series last year, he just absolutely dominated. There wasn't anyone even close. He went 14 under in his final round, winning by 9 strokes. This is basically unheard of and what I would consider Paul Macbeth levels. And along with that, his final round was 1077. I definitely recommend you guys check out the full front and back 9 commentary, but just a little bit of spoilers here. He didn't make a single circle 2 putt. He didn't get any eagles. He didn't get any aces. He just played consistent, strong, pure disc golf and got 14 under. I think that is something that is just so uncommon, especially in courses like these where it is extremely wooded. It is so easy to hit stuff or to falter in some way, but no, he played out of his mind, and I could not wait to see how he does in the 2023 season.
Open champion Joel Freeman.
Number 3, the Mexico Disc Golf Championship. So this is probably a little bit of recency bias showing, but I really enjoyed getting to see this tournament as a whole, seeing what the Mexico Disc Golf environment looks like, and the amazing players that we got to see. You definitely wouldn't even see this if it wasn't for GK Pro covering this tournament. I think it was just really special to see a Mexico local actually getting to be on the lead card, shredding the course, and playing lines that are very unique, that you would just not see it from other pros. Kind of KJ-esque, where he does his like grenades or rollers. We got to see that from the Mexico players, and I really found that special. And something else that was really cool is that some of the players that aren't really top 30, top 40, like Dustin Keegan, Paul Oman, even Luke Humphreys in some ways. These are players that are good in their own right, but you don't really get to see them flex how good they are because they are just in a league of many other pros that are just as good. So getting to see them really flex, and the spoilers here, the ace and the plentiful eagles that were made on this are just amazing, and I highly recommend you check out the full 3 rounds. It had me on the edge of my seat. I definitely have not felt that from any non-tour event in quite a while, and I definitely recommend you guys check out how it all ended because it was really entertaining and peak disc golf from my opinion.
Champion Rock, and that is pretty ideal right there.
I thought you were going to say it. That was piped.
All right, number 4, Foundations podcast. We stayed the night in an abandoned asylum. This also has a little bit of recency bias, and if you're not a huge fan of podcasts, then I guess you won't like this, but this is hilariously a non-disc golf podcast by Foundation, which is a little bit ironic, but they cover pretty much everything else except disc golf. And something about the flow and humor of this was just riveting and had me literally crying tears because I was laughing so hard. I even quote it to this day. This podcast was the funniest disc golf podcast I think I've ever heard. I highly recommend you guys check it out. You don't need to know Foundation. You don't really know anything about them. It is just a funny disc golf podcast. And this episode in particular had me rolling. Here's a short clip.
You get stuck.
Help! Help! It's got me! I have 3 kids! I just wanted some cheese!
It was whatever.
How will you respond?
It was
How do you respond?
It was whatever mouse.
All right, an honorable mention here. I would give them a spot, but they haven't actually made the content, and that is the South African Disc Golf Open. So this is just a trailer. The tournament actually did happen. The player Muhlenbeld won by like 9 strokes, but that's not really the story here. The beauty and awe of this course was just so astounding in this trailer. I don't actually know if this trailer was reality or if it was like stock footage mixed with the course itself, but I can only speak for what I can see, and what I see is the most electric, most unique, most hype disc golf trailer that I have ever seen, and I really hope they make post-produced because I would love to watch it. It's currently hosted on Limitless Disc Golf, so make sure to check it out. All right, so the true number 5 is the budget-fused disc golf challenge. All right, so this is a amazing concept by some of the best personalities in disc golf.
Hold up.
Get out of here. Over budget. The prodigy is over budget.
Wait a second.
Zoom in on this.
Hold on. Total is 30.03. He gave me a 20 and a 1.
Shoot.
So we have Uli, Big Jerm, KJ, and Ezra. And the concept is pretty simple. You get $30, spend anything up to $30 in a disc golf store, and whatever you get is what you play with. And it is hilarious what kind of hijinks they get into. They are throwing some of the flippiest discs that they have ever thrown in their entire lives. They have no idea what the flights will do. They don't even get a chance to throw these discs before the round. So seeing pros struggle so much is hilariously entertaining. And because you have so low expectations, and they actually astound you with how creative they can get and how actually they can make pretty decent shots even when they don't know the disc, they don't know much about like how it's going to fly or anything, but they're just so confident and seasoned that they can throw just about anything and make it work. They actually have a newer version that came out a couple weeks ago. I also recommend you guys check that out, but for me personally, this initial one just really caught my eye and also got me cracking up because they are just hilariously funny and great personality.
That thing is stable.
That's every shot he throws.
Oh my god, you literally turned
I missed the
That many people have never even heard of this channel, and that is the Kyushu Open 2020. So I don't actually really understand how they do their rounds. They have like a front 9 and then like a back 9 and then a back 9, but that's not really important. All that is to say that there's 27 holes in this final round, and the players are the main event here. It is the most uninteresting courses that you will ever see. It is no wind, not hard courses, but just the pure uniqueness to it and the hilarity in these 4 players just really cracked me up. It almost has that cult classic feel where if you don't get it, you don't get it, but if you get it, you just fully get it. You have this elderly player that looks like he is just about to retire. You have these American players that look very out of place in a Japanese setting. You have just so many factors going together, and it is just hilarity encapsulated in a round. And I think me and my friend just found this the peak of entertainment because it is what you make of it. If you just see these players throwing like a 150-foot hole, you may not think it's that interesting. But if you build up the drama and you make your own Jomez, you can just see how funny this would be if we did get like a Big Jerm and a Uli to commentate this, because there's just amazing plot lines. And I definitely have a preference towards the elderly man, Shirai. He is just the most lovable, endearing player that I've ever seen. I don't even know how he generates any power because he throws so standstill and just like a little tiny hop, and he generates a decent amount of power. But getting to see how the saga ends is actually very, very entertaining, even with the holes being so simple and so basic. There's just a lot going on. There's just a lot of dynamics at play, and I found it probably one of the most interesting disc golf tournaments I've ever seen. So make sure you check it out. I am not joking. This is not like a prank. Like, this is actually great disc golf. And I might even go rewatch it right now because it just has me so intrigued, because the whole way through I am clearly rooting for Shirai and I want him to succeed so bad. And I will give you a tiny spoiler. The winner of the event is not even on the lead card, which makes this whole round even more hilarious. And along with that, the pure goofiness and hilarity of the editing styles just cracks me up, and it just leads me to be like, wow, Japanese people just do it so much better than the Americans. They make it a lot more lighthearted. They make it a lot more fun to watch, and I definitely wish we could inherit more of those traits on the US tour. So with that concludes my top content that you missed out on. Let me know anything that I missed, because I would love to watch some more obscure disc golf golf. It might be my most guilty pleasure in life. So with that, make sure to subscribe. I will definitely be doing another one of these in the future. Wild Runs, signing out. Peace.